Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Andy's Shed Live. This is Series 10, Episode 9 for Sunday the 13th of February 2022. Good evening everybody and welcome to the show. It is Sunday evening once again and we are here live for this Sunday once again, and I can see there's already quite a few of you there in the old chat room. If anybody else wants to join in, feel free. We are of course live on YouTube, and also remember that you can find out more about us on the old website, which is here. It is andyshed.colepress.net. That is the website where you can catch all the old back episodes and things. And if you like what we do here, then maybe you might think about joining us on Patreon as well. Patreon.com/AndyShed for a sneak peek at look at. I'll start that again, shall I? For a sneak peek at a look at some of the stuff that. Well, everybody else sees a bit later, to put it quite simply. And of course, we have also got a forum to talk all things telephone related and other stuff as well, if you want to. You can find the forum gpotelephones.proboards.com. That is the place to go for that. Right, who've we got here in the old chat room? We've got Wesley, we've got Penfold, we've got Christopher, we've got Spig, we've got Dominic, we've got Jimmy, crikey, loads of people, loads and loads of people there tonight, and yeah, a bit different tonight, a bit interesting. Teal down me, look, crumbs, but yeah, it's a different and interesting one tonight because we're going to be talking vintage television. More accurately than vintage television, we're going to be talking this. Who remembers Ceefax? Well, it's back. as you can see from that, if you thought that was just a recording of Ceefax from years ago, then think again, because if you actually look at it up close, you'll see it's got today's date on the top, and it's also got roughly the correct time. There's a little bit of delay on YouTube, but it has got roughly the correct time on it as well. Now, the way it works is I've discovered this week, after it got a bit of media attention, that there's this 20-year-old guy in Northern Ireland who's recreated this. He's actually recreated Ceefax, and it works just like Ceefax, using Raspberry Pis and things. Or you can go online and have a look at it as well. If you go online, you need to go to NMS Ceefax. .co.uk. That's NMS Ceefax.co.uk, I believe. And you should then get something like that. I'll just prove it. I'll just go there and prove it. Oh no, that's not it actually. It's nathanmediaservices.co.uk/teletext viewer. So you need to go to nathanmediaservices.co.uk/teletext viewer. And I think then you should get it. You should get that. If you can see that, hope you can see that. There's a bit of a delay on my monitor here, so I can't see what you can see, sort of thing. But that is NMS Ceefax. The opening page, at least, to it. And hang on, what am I doing here? Oh no, you can't see it, can you yet? You should be able to see it now. I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm hoping you can see that now. NMS Ceefax on there now, and when you actually click on it, you start to actually see a Ceefax page, and on the right hand side is a remote control. So somebody was asking about the red button. If you go on there, nathanmediaservices.co.uk/teletext -viewer, then you've got your remote control that you can operate it, so you can press things on the remote control. So if I press, I don't know, 600 for the TV listings, it will then pop up with the TV listings. Should do. There you go, TV listings. How about that? Marvellous, isn't it? Isn't it cool? So there you go. Ceefax is back. it's really good. There's a few people that have been involved in this project, but it's this 20-year-old guy, this Nathan, in Northern Ireland, who kind of put various projects that people were doing together and actually made a system that works. And you can watch it on online, or you can watch it on a computer, or you can watch it on a TV. So that's how we did the Ceefax that you've seen. If you've tuned in before we started this evening, that's how we did the Ceefax that you will have seen earlier this evening. As I say, nathanmediaservices.co.uk /teletext-viewer is the place to go to, and you'll find out all about it. And it's absolutely brilliant. We quite like it. We think it's rather good. Right, hang on, I've got to get myself back to where I should be now. Right, there we go. We're back to where we should be now. I've pressed all the right buttons. So yeah, that's it. That is Ceefax. I thought you'd like to see that. I heard about it this week. I heard it on the Jeremy Vine show on Radio 2. I heard about this guy on the Jeremy Vine show because I've been on the Jeremy Vine show on Radio 2 this week. What day was it I was on? Was it Wednesday or Thursday? I think it was Thursday. I was on the Jeremy Vine show this week. And then the following day, this guy came on about Ceefax. And I thought, how can they bring it back? But basically what you do is you get a Raspberry Pi and put some special software onto the Raspberry Pi, then strap the Raspberry Pi onto the back of your TV set, and that's how you get Ceefax on your telly. So yeah, it's cool. Right, what's everybody up to in the chat? Fat Hobbit says there's a brilliant sketch with Peter Kay about Ceefax. Someone booking a holiday. No, that'll be Oracle, won't it? Wasn't it Oracle that had the holidays, not Ceefax? Oracle on ITV that used to have a big sort of section devoted to holidays and selling holidays and things. Dominic says he's got good news this week. BT have connected him up and he's got his Ivory 746L phone hooked up to it. Excellent, Dominic. Excellent. So you're connected to the GPO, and are you connected up via VoIP though? We'll have to get you a little box, Dominic, a little ATA, and connect you up to CNET next. Where it says, what were you on for, Andy? On Jeremy Vine? I was on Jeremy Vine about COVID, talking about COVID and whether we think they should be lifting restrictions or not. To which I think a resounding no. Restrictions should not be lifted. They've been lifted too far already, and as a consequence, numbers are skyrocketing again. Yeah, that's what I was on Jeremy Vine for. That, so yes. Dominic says you could sort out his fake red 500 DM for him. I've missed something there, Dominic. Who's fake red 500 DM? It says, I know the security guard who worked in the Raspberry Pi office. He actually thought they made pies with raspberries in them. Maybe that security guard isn't the most observant person in the world then to be a security guard, do you think? Christopher says he got woken up by his 1968 746. So he moved it from the bedroom to the railway room. A wise choice there, Christopher. What you want is you want a compact phone in the bedroom so you don't have bells in. Dominic said, doesn't Jeremy Vine have a fake phone on his desk? No, it wasn't that show. It was the radio show that I was on. It wasn't the Channel 5 show. I was on the show after the sprint across London, not the show before the sprint across London. No, with Jeremy and Storm. That's the show you're on about, isn't it? Jeremy Vine and Storm Huntley on the TV show. Unfortunately, I wasn't on that one. No. I ought to have been on that this week. Yeah. Oh well. So yeah, we were on with Jeremy Vine. So if Jeremy or even if Storm want to come on here, you're more than welcome, guys. Get in touch. Right, so that is about that. The other big news this week that I've got to tell you is things are slowly moving into the radio station. Don't know if I can find you a picture. I'll have a look, see if I can find you a picture. Just bear with me one moment, please, and I will see if I can find you a photo that I took. A photo what I took. Yeah, we are gradually moving into the radio station, but it is a very slow process, and I mean a very slow process to actually get in there. Mainly because it's just an awful lot of stuff to actually physically shift. Yeah, there's huge amounts of stuff to move. Right. Oh, there it is. So yeah, we are gradually moving in. Sorry, I'm just trying to make this work. But it's taken rather a lot of doing. Oh, there we go. Right. There's the picture, if I can get it to a sensible size. That's not come out right, has it? Oh, I know why it's not come out right. Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves a minute. That's more like it. We're getting there. Just bear with me a minute. I'm just resizing a photograph so you can see it. And I'll say we've moved in. What we've done so far is we've moved the mixers in. We've not moved anything else in really, except for a bit of stuff for storage in there, because basically it's time. Just not had time to do anything. Just recently, time is just ridiculous at the moment. So there you go. There's the mixers on a temporary table in the in what will become the new studio down at Pleasley Vale Business Centre. It's actually a very old cotton mill, dating from the very early 1900s, I think. It's Mill 3 at Pleasley Vale Business Centre that we're in, which is not far away from Mansfield. Mansfield's the nearest sort of town to it. And there's two Soundcraft Series 10 mixers, one of which will be used. The one that's nearest the camera is the one that we're going to use, and the other one is one that we've got as a source of spare parts. And we've got to take some of the faders out of the spares one and put in the usable one, because the usable's only got 2 mic faders on it at the minute, and we need 4 and all sorts of things like that. So we're going to be swapping a few bits over, and that's why I wanted to get them in there, because it's the only place we've got space to set them up, because those mixers are huge. They are like, each one's about yay far across and incredibly heavy. They're really heavy, those mixers. And that room is on the second floor of that building, so we knew about it by the time we'd taken them up there. But one of the problems that we've had is furniture for this radio station. We are now in full furniture gathering mode, and if you go on eBay and type in radio station furniture for radio station comes up, and it costs thousands. It costs, like no change out of £1,000. Sometimes no change out of £10,000. So we've gone looking for office desks, just ordinary large office desks that we can convert into radio station furniture by sort of cutting a hole in the top of them, because those mixers, it doesn't show up very well from this picture, but those mixers actually sit down slightly. You can inset them into the top of a desk. I mean, obviously not inset there because they're just on a temporary fold-up work table, but you can inset them into the top of a desk. So we're looking for office furniture at the moment, and we think we've found some in Huddersfield. So I'm off for a trip to Huddersfield tomorrow afternoon to hopefully go and get that. Oh cracky, the chat's shot up. Fat Hobbit says, can't wait till the station's up and running. And Penfold says, are you going to have a phone-in on your radio show? Interesting you should mention that, Penfold. Yes. there is talk of having a phone in on the radio station. It's technically quite tricky to do, but yes, I would very much like to do it. The problem is you need quite a few people to do a phone in. You know, you need like you need an off-air call handler really, and all kinds of things like that. And we are very short of bodies at the minute. We are very short staffed for people to come in and do stuff at the moment. We've put the call out to the local community, but I don't think we've put it out wide enough yet. So we're going to stick more of a call out to people, and hopefully we will get a few volunteers in to come and have a go. And that there's already people all around the world who are submitting shows to us, pre-recorded shows, which is good. So yeah, it's down to me now to get my act together and get the thing built up. As I say, we're waiting on the furniture really. Once the furniture is in, then we can start installing the equipment, because we've got to drill holes in things to run cables and all that sort of stuff. So until the proper furniture is in and we can put everything in place, then we're just held up at the minute waiting for that. So once that's in, I think things will move fairly fast. Wesley says, when I see those mixers, I can't help thinking of Smashy and Nicey. Yeah, very, very much Smashy and Nicey's era, I would say they are. Dominic says he's slowly setting up stuff as well. Slowly setting up stuff around the new house. He says, I've got my vintage Sony ST2950 stereo tuner connected to my Sony amp now. So I've got a decent FM reception, but need to tweak my AM antenna. Does anything still transmit on AM? Wasn't much on AM last time I tuned the radio to AM. I couldn't find much on it. Penfold says you'll have to have a slight delay on the phone in to prevent bad language. Yeah, a 7-second delay. The delay is easy. Catching up with the delay is hard, or putting the delay back is hard. Yeah, the 7-second delay, the famous 7-second delay, or the beat machine, as some people call it, is an incredibly complex thing. Of all the things that you might want to try and set up in a radio station, that is by far the most difficult piece of kit to create or get your head around how it works. By miles, that is the most difficult thing, and so because of that we might not have it. But yeah, the delay is difficult. It's really difficult, that. And people don't bother with it these days. The television shows don't even bother with it these days. When I did Big Brother's Big Mouth and stuff like that down at Elstree Studios, there was no delay on it. At least no recoverable delay. No delay that they could control and skip over to edit anything out. There was a bit of a delay going through the play-out system. You know, if you had a TV in front of you watching the show while you were in the studio, there was a delay, but it wasn't recoverable. You know, they couldn't like skip forward and like cut 7 seconds out. So consequently you had to be careful. And that's why we were all quite carefully vetted as to what we were going to what we might say before they let us on air. How would you pick up the stream? Andy, just browse to a website. Right, Wesley. Yeah, you would go on to well, there's various ways of doing it for the radio station. The easiest way is the station PVR will have its own website. Go onto the station, go onto the website rather, and there'll be a listen now button that you click on, and then you'll just hear it through whatever device you've clicked on. The website will work, or at least should work, on desktop computer, laptop computer, tablets, smartphones, possibly also on smart TVs. So that's the easy way of doing it. I'm also hoping that we'll get what they call an Alexa skill. So if you've got an Amazon Alexa, or indeed a little Google Pebble thing, you'll be able to say, "Hey Google," or "Hey Alexa, play PVR," and hopefully it will play it, because that's how most people, we find. Oh, I've just said it, and my phone's listened to me. It says, "What do you want to do?" No, go away. That's it. Because I said it. I said, "Hey GOOGLE," didn't I? And my phone just started listening. But yeah. Oh my God, what's it doing now? So yeah, as I was saying, hopefully it will get the relevant Alexa skill, or the skill for other smart speakers. So you'll be able to listen to it through them, which, like I say, is how most people are listening to radio now. When I go to people's houses now and they've got the radio on, it's almost always through some kind of smart speaker or smart picture frame or something like that. It's almost always something connected to either Facebook or Google or Amazon. It's very rare it's actually a radio, even a digital radio. It's very rare it's a radio. I think radio will die out, particularly digital. I don't think digital will ever catch on fully. Christopher says, if you think radio equipment is heavy, railway searchlight signals are very heavy. It takes 2 people to carry them. Sounds like there's a story there, Christopher. Wesley says, I can remember the Matt Bianco incident on Saturday Superstore. The perils of live phone-ins. Oh, what was that one? I'm having trouble remembering that one. I think I saw that live, but I can't. There were so many. Did somebody ring up and swear at Matt Bianca? It happened to 5 Star as well, didn't it? That somebody rang in and questioned 5 Star's parentage. It also happened to the guy who played Ted Bovis on Heidi High, but I don't think that was on Superstar. I think that was on a thing called Open Air that used to go out in the mornings. And apparently he owed somebody some money, and this guy rang in and said, "When are you going to give me this money you've owed me for the last 25 years? Yes, the perils of live broadcasting. Wordsworth says, I'm sure the Matt Bianco incident will be on YouTube. Yeah, it probably is somewhere. Yeah, I can't quite remember the details of it. I'll have to have a look now. Matt Bianco, Saturday Superstore. I can't resist it any longer. Hang on. Where are we? Is it on YouTube then? Oh yes, it is. It is. Apparently, oh, it's only 14 seconds. So yeah. Yeah, if you want to go and find it, it's on YouTube. The Matt Bianco is on YouTube. So yeah, it's on there, Wesley. Yeah. Who remembers Matt Bianco? My God, that's a name I've not heard for a long time. You'll be saying things like Bucks Fizz next, and yeah, Adam and the Ants, and crikey. Someone inferred that Matt Bianco was in the finance sector. Yeah, he was a banker, was he? That's what he was. Yeah. Right, moving on swiftly. Yeah, nobody's listening to me now, are you? You've all got to YouTube to Google Matt Bianco, haven't you? I might as well be quiet there for the next 14 seconds and while you all do that. Yes, Matt Bianco. Saturday Superstore, there's the thing. People talk about Swap Shop a lot. But nobody ever talks about Saturday Superstore, which was the direct successor to Swap Shop. And basically, it was swap shopping everything but name. Saturday Superstore was exactly like Multicoloured Swap Shop. Exactly like it. Totally the same. I think it ran for about the same amount of time, so about 5 years, didn't it? It was eventually replaced by Going Live. With Philip Schofield. When Philip Schofield was young. Crikey, I don't Philip Schofield aged. I saw him in the one of these car place adverts the other day. Hasn't he aged? The Scof in these adverts, crikey. Yeah. I used to bump into him at Elstree Studios on a Saturday night. Because I used to be there doing Big Brother's Big Mouth on a Saturday night, and he used to be there doing Dancing on Ice on a Saturday night. So very regular thing, bumping into Philip Schofield in the fire lanes at Elstree Film and Television. I think it was it Dominic last week said they'd like to see an Escape the Shed done at Elstree Studios. I'm working on it, Dominic. I am going to do it. I went to record it. I went to do it some years ago, and did it and recorded it all, and got back and realised when I got back there was a load more stuff that I'd not realised, and so I hadn't covered while I was there. So if I was to put that video out, it would get loads of comments going, what about this, what about that, what about something else? So we've never put it out. So I might just add to it, or I might completely redo it, but we are going to do it. I probably need to redo it actually, because EastEnders has moved, or is in the process of moving. So where I say the EastEnders set is in that video, it probably won't be by the time a new video comes out. Whereas it says any telephone acquisitions this week. No telephone acquisitions this week, Wesley. I don't think. No, I don't think anything has arrived telephone wise this week. The latest one was this one that you can just about see under the chat here. This green one that we put together a couple of weeks ago, that Arthur sent in. Now, Arthur sent this phone. It hadn't got a handset when he sent it in. So he sent it in to me. And I found a handset out and put on it and put it all back together on the show, and I thought I'd done really, really well. And after the show, Arthur emailed me and said, that green case I sent you, I just popped it on that base. It doesn't actually go with it. It's not a complete phone. It's just that I sent you the innards of a phone and the case off a phone, and I just put them together for the postage. They don't actually go together. He said that phone was later converted to an 8746, which it was. You can see the red sticker on the bottom here. It was later converted to an 8746, and it would never have kept the original Mark 1 case when it had been an 8746. But I've done it this way though, because originally it was a 746 from 1970, so I thought it was a really good candidate for having a Mark 1 case on it. He says when it became an 8746, that case would have been taken off though. So we put it back to its 1970s condition. Of course, there's no way of knowing what colour it would have been in the 1970s, because if the cases got changed and the handsets got changed, there's no way of knowing what the original colour would have been. So whether it would have been a green one or not, we have no idea. But that's what it's been restored as. You've got to pick a colour, haven't you, basically? If you can't, there's no way of knowing what colour it was, you've just got to pick one, and we have just picked one, and we happen to have picked green, because that's the colour case that Wesley sent. Not Wesley, that Arthur sent. So thanks to Arthur for sending that. We've not restored it quite right, apparently, but if you forget the 8746 sticker on the bottom of it and just read the 746 TMA 71 bit, then you know, it's as it probably would have been in 1971. What I do need to do is find a green button blank to go in there. I've probably got one somewhere, but I need to go and find one. Go and find it and see if I can root one out from somewhere. So yeah, that was the latest telephone to come in. Apart from that, none have arrived this week because we've been so busy with A, boat, and B, radio station. Yes, you heard that right, boat. I have spoke about it on here before. So we've been so busy with A, boat, and B, radio station that the telephones have taken a bit of a back seat for the last couple of weeks. So there's nothing arrived telephone wise this week. It's all sort of mixing desks and all sorts of radio station equipment and that we're looking for. I'm looking for old equipment for radio stations. One thing I'm particularly looking for, although probably not use them on a day-to-day basis, but it'd be nice to have them in the studio there, just to have them sat there, is cart machines, what some people call Fidelipack machines, the things that used to play the jingles. If anybody's got any of those machines, or any of the carts which look very similar to an 8-track cassette, then yeah, we'd be interested to hear from you, because I would quite like to have a bank of cart machines in the studio, and getting them is very difficult. The problem is the Techmone effect. Blooming Techmone did a video on cart machines, and the problem is when Techmone does a video about something, suddenly an extra naught gets added on to the price. So yeah, that's the Techmone effect for you. It's a well-known YouTube/eBay problem. Chris says, I'm thinking of putting a switch on my GPO 746L on the bell to turn off the bell. Yeah, well you can, Christopher. They did have bell on-off switches fitted where I've got a hole on this one. In fact, for a while, I've moved it because I've moved the furniture around in here a bit, but for a while in here I did actually have a green phone just like this one, but I think it was a Mark II case, that had a clear button in there that was bell on off. And it's interesting how the bell on off works, because you don't break the circuit to turn the bell off, you short it out, I believe, rather than breaking it. So it's an interesting thing. Maybe we'll have to feature that one day on how to fit one of those bell on off switches, because that's something that, as far as I know, we've not done up to now. So yeah, we'll have to feature that one week. Wesley says, seems to be a glut of Mark 1746s on eBay at the moment. Yes, because we've been talking about them, Wesley, and everybody's realised they've got one and think, oh, we'll sell a lot on eBay. Wesley says, I've been busy with my old Fergie tractor this week. Excellent. Red or grey, Wesley? Wait for him to respond. There's about a minute's delay in me saying something and then you hearing it and me getting it back via a message in the chat. You know, I have to wait about a minute before people can respond, and that's the delay of it all going through YouTube, through and coming back and going, yeah, oh, don't ask. Dominic says it's the Andy Shed effect. No, it's a Techmoan effect. It's a Techmoan effect. Whenever Techmoan mentions anything in one of his videos, you then either can't get them or they become ridiculously expensive. It happened with reel-to-reel tape machines. It happened with cart machines. It's happened with Walkmans. What else has it happened with? What else has he done? I haven't done much old stuff just recently, actually. Techmoan don't seem to be doing as much as he used to. Dominic says, quick, feature an Ivory 300 so everyone can put one up on eBay. Yeah, but the problem is they'll put them off about £1,000 each. Wesley Pegton says it is Fergie is a red one, a very early 1959. Were they red in 1959? Were Fergie tractors red in 1959? Were they just Ferguson then, or had the Massey bit got involved by then? I thought they were red when the Massey bit got involved, when they became Massey Ferguson. Am I right or am I wrong? Because actually Massey Fergusons were red and grey, or red and silver perhaps, and I was wondering if that was a marriage of two, the red from Massey and the grey from Fergie. Penfold says Techmoan did the green portable box telephones, but they didn't sell out. Yeah, the wind up sort of field telephone things. Yeah, they went up though. They did go up, because you could buy them for like £5 and £10 before Techmoan did his video. Dominic says, I was quite lucky to get a reel-to-reel before Techmoan made a video on a similar one, so just managed to dodge the Techmoan effect. Yes. And Christopher says, just an update, he's got 5 Mark 1746 phones, 3 746Ls and 2 746Fs now. So, cracky. You've almost got more British phones than Australian ones, Christopher. And given you in Australia, that's quite some achievement. Penfold, my Triumph TR4 has a 2 litre petrol engine. that was used in a Fergie tractor. Really? Triumph TR4, those little sporty cars, have the same engine as was used in Fergie tractors. I bet that's something TR4 I can't speak tonight. What my teeth in. I bet that's something that TR4 owners try and keep quiet. That their engine is also used in a Fergie tractor. I did not know that. How does that get to be a thing then? Who made the engine? Triumph and Fergie weren't the same company, were they? Or were they? I don't know. What it says, I think Massey Harris and Ferguson joined in 1953, and Massey Ferguson was a name from 1958. So it was that long ago. I didn't realise it was that long ago. So they did go red as Massey Ferguson then. Crikey. I've learnt a lot tonight. Didn't realise Massey Ferguson tractors were that old. And that. But yeah, I've always fancied a tractor. I don't own a tractor. Well, I do. I own 3 little lawn tractors that are in various states of disrepair. One of them has featured. If you go way back in my YouTube channel and type in something like Westwood Lawn Tractor, there is a video of one running on there. It's way back in the depths of time though. Where's it says it was standard Triumph engines built at the Standard Works. So when you say standard Triumph, you mean standard as in the Standard Company, not as in standards in bog standard, but you mean standard as in standard Triumph. And they put them in Massey Ferguson tractors. I'm amazed. I had no idea. I've learnt something new. I didn't know before. So there you go. Gobsmacked even. Totally gobsmacked. Right, so anyway, as I was saying, this was the last phone to arrive. It's now all put together. It's not actually been tried yet. I think it should work, but it does need a line cord on it. A bit of a shortage of original line cords these days. Ages ago, I got a big bag full of original grey line cords from the 80s. And that's kind of kept me going up till now, but they're starting to run out now, so I might have to start making line cords again. Where can I put this? The trouble is, what you can't see here is I've got stuff all over the place on the floor. Yes, right. Okie dokie. Yes, very good. Right. Oh, this one. Well, we're talking about what was on last week and things. You may remember a couple of weeks ago, this arrived. Now, the cameras do not deceive. This is indeed a topaz yellow Mark 1 746. As somebody said, there's a lot of them around at the minute, and we reckon this is probably a very original phone. This 746, we reckon it's very original, even down to the fact that it's still got that on the end of it, and that is actually a yellow one. That's just got a load of paint on it. Now, how do you get the paint off these? You can kind of scratch it off to a certain degree, with your thumbnail, but I think it will come off a lot easier if it is wet. So, hang on, which side are we at there? I'll do it there. I'm going to take this off and put it in some warm soapy water, and then I'm hoping, when it's been in warm soapy water for a minute or two, I'm hoping that it will then come clean. Just trying to get the screw out. So, I mean, I don't know if these are stainless steel screws and that, and so it shouldn't hurt getting wet, but I don't want to risk it. So I'll take the screw out, like that. So now I've got that. I'm just going to go and dunk that in some warm soapy water for a minute, and then we'll see what we can do. And the eagle-eyed of you wouldn't have noticed that that's actually got a grey base to it. It's possibly there since it was new. So who knows? But I think the phones were actually supplied with this junction box already on the end of them generally. So I would have thought that would have had a yellow base to it originally. So maybe it's not as original as we think. I don't know. Right, I'm going to go and dunk this in some water. Back in a sec. Right, we can now consider that dunked. So that is in the water now, having soaked for a few minutes in warm soapy water, the washing up liquid, and hopefully the paint will then come off relatively easily. Wesley says it's not unusual to have a grey base, certainly not with the later British Telecom branded ones. So you reckon this grey base may be original then? Why did they put grey bases on them? Why not nice red bases or something? Why is everything always grey? You can have your telephone any colour as long as it's grey. Christopher says I only got one Mark II 746, a red 1975 746F. Cool. Right. I'm now letting that thing soak. But this is quite a nice phone, this one. Yeah, I quite like these yellow ones. They're interesting. for all sorts of reasons. Oh, something has come telephone related this week. This is a little commercial job that I've got. Not sure if I can tell you who for or not, so I won't. But it is an interesting job that I've got that's come in this week. I've been commissioned to mend trim phone handsets. And a couple have been sent to me as a trial, just to see, because what happens is they break across there where those two arrows are. Can you see that crack there? When I bend it, you see that crack opening up. They break across there. But when you put it together, you can hardly see the break, sort of thing. So the thing is, we've got to try and invisibly repair that crack. And it's not in the best of places, because it's right there. But this is where they break. They break either across that way, or from this corner here and go this way. I've seen them go before. This one happens to have gone that way, but I have also seen them go that way. And this is a really common problem with trim phones. A really common problem with trim phones. So that is one of the little tasks that I've got to do. I've actually got two of them. So that one was broke on that side. It's okay on that side, but on that side it's got a crack in it. And I've got another one. Well, that one's been glued before, because I can see glue on that. So that's bad news, because when it's been glued before, you've got to get all the old glue off, and that's never easy. But yeah. But that's what happens to them. That's the classic thing that happens to trim phones. Now, as I say, that one has been glued before, because you can see on it all the old glue glistening on there. So that's going to be a problematic one, I think, to put back together. So I'm not sure that we'll be able to get the old glue off. If in doubt, give it a scrape with a screwdriver. That's flicked off there. That's better. That bit's gone there. Let's see if we can get rid of that bit there as well. Yes. So some of it's gone. See, the problem is here, I don't know what sort of glue it is, and you can't use anything too drastic to melt the glue, because it might also melt the plastic. So that could be a bit problematic. Where's the rest of it gone? Oh, there it is. It will be interesting, it will. That will be very interesting to get back together. So yeah, they are a project that's coming this week anyway. Trim phone handsets. You notice they're quite nice blue ones as well. Right, I'll put those back where they were, and perhaps it's time to go and have a look and see if my if the paint on that box is melting. Right, I have returned, and not only have I returned, but I've returned with a bowl full of hot water, and it is working. Because now it's very easy with my thumbnail. That thumbnail's the best thing to use really, because you don't run so much risk of scratching the plastic. See, I don't know if you can see how easy that is now coming off. You can't see in the light, can you? But yeah, let me switch cameras a sec, and then you will see how easy that is coming off there now. Much easier, and that's just warm soapy water that's doing that. That's starting to fetch the paint off quite nicely. So I'm quite happy that we should be able to clean that up quite well. Yeah, it's getting there. Oh, hang on. There we go. See? So I'll stick it back in the water, and I'll take it back and let it continue to soak. And we'll let that soak for a few more minutes, and then I'll do it later. I'll show you the results next week. Got my camera all wonky now. Is that it? No, that's not it. It's gone on the wonk. Alright, that's it, that's better. That will do. Right, I think that's probably almost as far as we go actually for this week. What's everybody been saying in the chat though before we go? Oh, it says it's not unusual to have a grey base, certainly not with the later British Telecom branded ones. Dominic says the colour looks pristine on the handset. I don't know if he's talking about the trim phone. I think he's probably talking about the trim phones there. Yeah, that's what I think as well, Dominic. Wesley says it may well be they were coloured usually, but it would make sense for them not to be coloured, considering you can't see them when they're screwed onto a skirting board. This is the little junction boxes. Back to the trim phone handsets, Wesley says they can also crack at the top where the metal part is pressed onto the inside. Yeah, I've not seen that, Wesley. I've not seen one cracked there, but I've certainly seen plenty cracked across that bottom there. Because they're wider at the top, aren't they? And I think they're a little bit stronger. Penfold says, how are you going to go at plastic welding any phone cases? Yeah, we've plastic welded quite a few. We normally do it with acetone, but yeah, we have done quite a few. I'm now looking at trying to find a way, different chemicals, to do it with Diacon, so that we can save Diacon. But it's one of those get round to it things. What he says, there's been a few examples here, Penfold, with acetone and the melted slurry. Yeah, that's right, Wesley. We've done it on quite a few, haven't we? Done it on a few blue ones. Penfold says sometimes a heat gun and plastic filler stick with a V groove can give a stronger fix. Plastic filler stick with a V groove can give a stronger fix. So you melt a bit of plastic in using a heat gun. I'd be worried I was going to melt the whole thing with a heat gun. That'd be the problem, though. Dominic says, I must get round to finishing off the colour restoration of the ivory phone I have at some point. Penfold says they use plastic welding on a lot of motorbike fairings. Yeah, I've seen it used on a car as well, on the bumper of a car. Oh, what's her name? Oh, that European girl, who is part of Adam Savage's Tested, or was part of Adam Savage's Tested. Simone Yurts. She had a strange little sort of 1970s electric car. It was shaped like a cheese wedge that had plastic bumpers, and I believe she used a soldering iron to weld the broken plastic bumpers back together. Yeah, they're talking about it now in the chat about it being on plastic bumpers. Yeah, doing it with a heat gun is basically just like doing it with acetone, the way that I do it. It melts the plastic. It's just that I melt it chemically, they're melting it with heat. But the chemicals that I use to melt the plastic then evaporate, so it does just leave the plastic back again. So whether you do it with heat, whether you do it chemically, you theoretically get an equally strong joint, because all that is left in the joint is plastic at the end of the day. Christopher says it's been a big train spotter day on Saturday, and his friends were filming 1950s class diesel and a 1980s diesel. So if you want to have a look at that, go to Christopher 2000's train channel. on YouTube, because he's got 2 channels. He's got his telephone channel and his train channel, both of which are equally good. Go and have a look. So yeah, excellent stuff. Right, I think that is probably about as far as we go for today. Must be tea time, it must be. Thanks to everybody for watching once again. As I said earlier in the show, if you like what you see here, and you haven't done so already, because I know a lot of you have done so already, but if you haven't done so already, you might consider joining us on Patreon, patreon.com/Andy's Shed. It's just £1 a month, and you get an earlier heads up on certain things that we're doing. There's a kind of little blog thing on there where you get exclusives, and normally before they are released on here. And also, don't forget the forum. Talk all things telephones. gpotelephones.proboards.com is the forum. And also remember, we have a shop selling telephone bits and pieces as well. The shop is here. It's at andysemporium.coalpress.net. That's andysemporium.coalpress.net, and you'll find model railway stuff, and you'll find telephone stuff on there as well. It's got a bit neglected, the shop, just recently. Not put much new stuff in it just recently, but there will be new stuff coming just as soon as I get a chance to do it, because I just wish there were like 9 days in a week. Right. Okay, that is about it again for this week. I will tell you something else about this episode of Andy's Shed Live as well. You should be no ads in it that are not skippable. I have turned off the unskippable ads. So from this video going forwards, we are experimenting to see if it does anything to our YouTube revenue to turn off the unskippable ads. So any ads will have to be skippable. Not that I'm saying you should skip them, but if you get really fed up with the adverts, you now can skip all of them, or at least you should be able to. Why? The reason I'm telling you this is, if by any chance on this video, and it doesn't apply to videos that have gone before, but if you're watching this one and you've seen any ads in it that were not skippable, I want to know, please, because YouTube be doing something they shouldn't be. So if you're watching this video and there have been any unskippable ads, please get in touch with us, andyshed.coalpress.net, and fill in the contact us form on there. Right, that wraps it up for this week. Thanks to everybody for watching and taking part once again. Hopefully in the week I may, if I manage to get a chance to do it, I may have a little bit of footage from the radio station, from the studio, showing you the work so far, a bit more than I can show you in a picture. Well, hopefully this week we'll get some proper furniture in there as well, and it'll all start coming together. And if anybody's in the area wants to help out with the radio station, either with the building or with the operation of it, then also get in touch with us. You can get in touch with me here if you want. If you've got the email already, send us an email. andyshed.coalpress.net, and the contact us form is on there, of course. So that is about it. Christopher says he's going to a Steam Rail Open Day. The video come out in March. So that will be one to look forward to. And there's also a video coming soon of the Tate train, he says. So that's another one to watch for on his channel. Right, so now I've finished. You can skip on over to Christopher's channel if you want. Christopher 2000 on YouTube. Give him a search and say hello and say that we sent you. But from me, until next week around about the same time, same place, have a fantastic week ahead, everybody. And as I say, if you've not done so, YouTube, click like, click subscribe, and click that bell icon, because there just might be something coming in the middle of the week. Right, that's it. See you soon. Bye for now.